But then as we move forth on this journey, they start to awaken more feelings towards us. They start to realize more and more, although the ego fights it, that one of these things is not like the others. That with us, they don't feel like with other women. That when they are with us, when they touch us, when they feel our energy, it cannot compare to anyone else, right? And it terrifies them. But they start to develop this empathy, because although the ego is in denial, the soul remembers. And remember, the masculine part of the connection, he is the protector. He is the protector of the feminine. He is literally the knight in shining armor for the beautiful princess, right? His job in his deep core energy blueprint of his soul is to protect you, his feminine side, because we are the other half of his soul. So whatever ego thinks, because it's lost, confused, and in the darkness, the soul remembers, this is the other half of me, and this is the feminine half of me. I exist to protect it, right? So as we engage in this nonsense shebang madness of in and out, right, and everything that needs to happen karmically in that state of in and out before separation, there's a moment where he still wants it, he still craves it, but it starts to come in. What am I doing? She brings me happiness. She brings me joy. There's something about this woman that I cannot find in any other person on this planet. Why am I hurting her? He starts to realize it's going to be subconscious. He's not going to be accepting that in his mind. He's not going to be ready to accept that. But this is the moment that he starts to pull back. Because again, it's in their blueprint not to cause us pain more than what the karmic contract is designed to cause, to awaken you and to show you your shadows, right? But our divine masculine is our forever protector. Whether we're separated or not, we are designed to protect them spiritually. Right? I highlight this to you guys. We are the lighthouse. We are the spiritual teacher in this connection, right? We are the connection to God. So because we always have that half of us beyond the veil, connecting to what's unseen and unknown, whether we know it or not in the beginning, through our self-work, through our soul work, through our awakening, we provide that energetic protection for both of us, right? It's in our blueprint. This is why we do such a deep inner work, right? So in the beginning, we're more low vibrational, so we attract certain challenges, and then we grow and we create that bubble of protection through self-love. This is how feminine does that. This is why self-love came through so important for you in the first part, because through deep unconditional self-worth, self-worthiness, we connect to God. We remember that we are gods, that we carry element of God. We're all worthy. And through that, we create that bubble of protection, not only above ourselves, but above our masculine as well. That spiritual protection, right? And his role in his blueprint is to protect us in the physical. This is why when they closer and closer to really stepping into their masculinity, that healthy sort of a claim over the feminine awakens. This is mine, but not mine in the sense of a possession, but this is the most precious gem on the face of this planet. I have to protect it, right? So the spark of that, I feel, it's awakening. It's weird that we have it in the mind, because I would think that it's something that would awaken first in the heart space, but maybe there's something else that we're going to discover around the heart space. But maybe as well it's something that he thinks about. This is why, right? It's not so much feeling. They struggle with the feeling for a very long time. So maybe it's not so much the feeling, but he starts to think, what am I doing? What am I doing? I'm being egoistic here, which is true. She makes me happy. She's a good person. Why am I doing this? He started to awaken to the nonsense and to the egoism of what he's doing. And we have grief at the bottom, I mean, at the end of your spread. I'm thinking about that regret that we had. So grief, regret, there's some heavy emotions around you. It's like, you know, it's difficult for a collective. So I try really not to firmly say these things in a collective. Why? Because of what I explained to you in the beginning of this reading. Choices. Every day we choose. So tomorrow, you know, I can have an X amount of people in this collective. Tomorrow, half of you, and I highlight this often, right? Tomorrow, half of you is going to take X decision, and tomorrow the other half, a different one. And we're going to have a split collective, and half of the people are going to drop the collective, right? So it is the choices, but it sort of feels like your guides are pushing you to shift to the next stage. Within you, there's a twinkle of a little sparkle of self-love. Man, I really deserve more. And within him, there's a little spark of, what am I doing? Okay, let's continue. His mind, his head. We have Sagittarius. I said a lot of things I should have not said. Confirmation, it was in your joint energy. So things were said. I said them out of anger and fear. Sometimes I say things without even thinking. I'm sorry for hurting you with my words. So we have double confirmation. So it's an important detail for you. If this is really your reading, you would have had a conversation where things were said quite hurtful, maybe in anger, maybe in emotion, that you would then, both of you, think about this in your head, go over this, have some regret, but it was meant to happen, because it started those twinkles of what you're meant to really feel and embody. Regret. I think I made a mistake. Afraid they made the wrong decision. Feels troubled or remorseful of what has happened. Sees you happy while they are miserable. I don't think they see you happy, to be honest, but there's something about the happiness. So there's sometimes, you know how I often I've lost the word, compare this to like this telenovela moment when he thinks that he's not good enough, so he's going to take the decision for both of them and leave, you know, that kind of thing. I don't think he sees you happy. I think he thinks that you deserve happiness, that you are happiness, right? And then it's not something that he can offer. Great source of power. Dream team. To be honest, hold on, I want to do two more. Runner and watching. I'll be watching you. I just heard this song. Do you know this song, Sting? You belong to me, with every step you take. So even if is that what the song is about? Even if I leave, I'll be watching you. I'll always be watching you. We have the runner. I think he's thinking about running away from the emotion, from overthinking. It would be overwhelming what he's feeling right now. But the center of your spread, the great source of power, I think that whether it's conscious or not really, right? I feel he sees you. It's only, we don't realize that, and we don't often believe that. But from the very beginning to our counterpart, we put each other on a pedestal, right? So you see yourself you see yourself like this, right? Because you don't have self-love. And just like I said, to you, you put him on a pedestal. He's the sexiest, the smartest, the funniest, the most amazing, and everything, right? And it's same for him. So he sees himself like this, and it's like, what is this woman seeing in me? He puts you on a pedestal as well. She's so joyful. I think this happiness, I think there's something about your energy that maybe you're very childlike, maybe you have this spark, maybe it's that, you laugh in a specific way. This very sort of a, I want to say a toddler, but not in a bad way, in a good way, like this childlike energy, this childlike joy, like this big child, but not in a sense of maturity, but in a sense like you really light up my light, my room, my everything. You make things better, you make things happier, right? So I think right now he thinks that you have a potential to have something bigger in life, something greater in life, which is true right now, whether we want to accept it or not. And he is the stopper, which is true, because this is how it is. Separations have to happen. In the beginning, again, we're in so much longing, in so physical attachment, in such an obsession over them, that we would not be able to focus fully on us if they were constantly around. No true, raw, real growth and transformation for the feminine will ever happen as long as we're in and out and we're still connecting to them. We need to be left alone. And for most of us, let's face it, we're not able to do it on our own, so they have to do it. It's in the, not necessarily always, sometimes it's the feminine that hits rock bottom, sometimes it's sort of that moment you start feeling into that energy, both of you. So you hit your rock bottom and he starts to think, what am I doing? I have to stop myself. I have to find the strength not to come back because I'm not able to offer anything. Let's quickly just confirm with tarot, and then we're going to do his heart. Because I kind of, hold on. Because I kind of talk and we still have 2 parts to go. Let's do your row. What? One more. Yeah, these two, they fell in reverse. Although I don't do reversal, I was seeing that clearly. I think it's everything that is happening in his mind is a bit subconscious, right? So it's that blueprint of the soul that I was talking about being activated. What was the real role? He doesn't think about it this way. He doesn't feel into something within me is activating that I need to be her protector. No, it's very, very, very subconscious, right? It's very subconscious. To him, it would also be subconscious, right? I literally feel like it's, what am I doing? I don't even want to analyze this thought, but I'm just hearing, what am I doing? I can't do this. He doesn't understand why. He doesn't want to analyze the why, but there's something emerging within him that says, what am I doing? What am I doing? That's not what it's the karmic guidance, right? Certain things have to happen and then next things have to happen. This is why when really, yes, we have choices, we take choices, but those milestones, there's sort of like a Stargate portals, right? Like these vortices that they just pull us in. They pull us in, right? So we take choices, but when the moment comes towards certain milestone, it's so deeply imprinted in our soul that without us knowing, we all have those moments, right? Most people subconsciously, I don't know why, but I have to go that direction today. I don't know why. I know why I did that. I know why I said that. It's just because someone, right, like took control over me. It's your soul that remembers. So I don't think he deeply analyzes, but there's a mixture, a subconscious mixture of, what am I doing? She's not deserving this. I'm not able to offer anything. She's worth so much more than being dragged into my world, mixed with lack of self-esteem, lack of worthiness, willingness, thinking that in order to deserve you, so many things would have to change, that he would have to work on so many things, he would have to do so many things, he would have to be able to offer so many things. And unfortunately, in the beginning, they're so deeply subconsciously, again, in lack of self-belief, that they don't leave to start working on these things. They leave because they don't even believe that they could ever achieve what would have to be there to be with us. Does it make sense? I feel there's some sort of a feeling within him that feels the connection, that you feel like home, that you are his home, that you would be his perfect mate, that he will always be watching. He may even be saying this to himself, I always be watching over her. Like I'll always keep tabs just to know in case she needs something, right? But I need to start doing, I feel there is this sensation of needing to start doing that from far. But it's causing sadness, it's causing that grief. All right, let's tap into his heart real quick. Well, not real quick. Let's tap into his heart. Hold on, I want to move this away. Let's tap into his heart. How is he feeling in his heart? In his poor little heart. What? Okay, we have soul, which is nice. It's kind of confirmation of what I was explaining to you, that the soul may be suppressed, the soul may be dormant, the soul may be, but it's always there. There was this, it came to me recently, the sort of a Stargate analogy. I don't want to talk about it now. I'll maybe jump on my stories and tell you guys about it later, because I don't want to make this super long. It may not be this relevant, but it's a little bit like that. The soul is dormant, right? But the soul is speaking to him. He's feeling something. He's feeling some sort of a deeper guidance within his heart that he's not necessarily understanding. He does feel powerless as well. We do have powerless. So he would feel, again, I highlight this to you guys always when we talk about divine love, the initial stages of divine love, the masculine things, that this is just cruelty of faith. The cruel, cynical fate that brought you to him, a woman that is perfect, but a woman that he cannot have because he couldn't even begin to start to want to accomplish what he feels needs to be accomplished to get you, and he feels powerless to deserve you. And in reality, he doesn't realize that all along it's just limiting belief of the monkey mind that we have to conquer. We have patience, and it's in the center of his spread. And I highlight this to you guys, and we talk about this as well in divine readings, that they have more patience than we do. And it's a little bit of that distorted understanding of fate, right? So they don't believe in a destiny as you are the master of your destiny through choices, as I explained to you. This is why it's so important for the feminine to start embody that energy. I understand it's my choices. Every day, the smallest choices, because everything, every word, every gesture, everything I eat, everything I do creates energy. Everything matters. Everything matters, right? So they think that fate is something that they believe in. Fate, they believe in destiny, right? They may not use the proper terms and the end is just labels, but they believe in it. It's just that they think that if it's meant to be, it will happen. They think that they don't have to do squat. They don't understand that to be the master of your destiny, again, you have to start choosing for yourself. Choosing better for yourself, transforming, shifting, changing, going inwards, right? To become the alchemist. They just think that it's basically out of their hands. So there's a moment in the beginning when we are really deeply in this impatience, in this pain. We cannot just like breathe without them. We cannot go on without them. It's incredibly painful. For the feminine in the beginning, the pain is like you cannot focus on anything else. This is why as well the destiny has to take him away, because we would never do our healing. We cannot. It's not just that they are energetically with you, they will always be. Your divine counterpart will always energetically be with you till the day you die. Whether you choose to walk this path or you're very resistant, they will always be energetically with you. But I've explained this in one of my previous readings. I think that being here energetically and feeling them in the room next to you all the time is different than engaging in thinking. In the beginning, we're in so much longing that we wake up or we feel depressed, or we cannot move our body, we don't have the energy to do anything, we cry, we think about them. It's all about them. It's madness. It's madness. It's literally just this physical pain, because they're not around. We feel their rejection, their abandonment. We feel, because we are in low self-esteem, so we're not understanding that they put us on a pedestal as well. We think that they disregard us, right? Because they give us breadcrumbs. They give us nothing. They don't, sometimes, they come in, they come out, and we feel, oh my God, you must think of me like the worst trash, that you treat me this way, because we don't understand the mechanism. We don't understand that it's coming from the fact that it's actually quite the opposite, right? So in the beginning, it's pain. And because we are the creatrix, right? So in reality, we subconsciously feel that the feminine creatrix, our soul, holds the power, holds the creation power, the creative power. It's the initiation, which is true, right? They follow along. So we feel like we want to do something. And in addition to it, we are in our wounded masculine, right? We don't understand that, yes, we have to do something, but this something is being, is just going inwards, healing, focusing on self, right? So it's literally like sitting on it feels like, not that I would know in this lifetime, but it feels like someone who struggled with some sort of abuse is being put away from it. And it's like you cannot think, you cannot focus, you're literally it's madness. It's madness. Nothing but this man exists to us. Nothing matters, okay? Now, this is why we struggle so much with patience. It's pain that we need to learn to transform into creative power that will allow us to go inwards and completely release and set him free. Whereas for him, patience is not that difficult because he thinks he's dormant, right? He knows as well subconsciously that he won't be able to ground into existence whatever his creatrix did not create. So he's in this mindset of what's meant to be will be. But in his heart, we have passion as well, and we have fulfillment. You make his heart happy. You awaken true passion of the soul. And again, passion and lust, it's the biggest confusion when we talk about confusions of the matrix and distortions of the matrix. This is why the masculines have to understand it so deeply. This is why usually the feminines immediately embark on a journey of celibacy, whereas the masculines quite the opposite. And the reason for that is because passion is something that comes from the soul, but because they don't fully believe and trust in what's beyond the veil, in the things of the soul, they say to themselves, it must just be attraction. Maybe it's just attraction. There's something, but maybe when I move away and I'll stop seeing her, it will go away. But surprise, surprise, years go by, and the sound of our name gets them going. Because true passion, you don't have to see someone to be passionate about them. You remember their scent. You remember how they move. You remember how they feel, how they taste, because it's the passion of the soul. Because when your body is released in ecstasy, your souls touch, and when they touch, they're one. In comparison to lust, that needs trigger, that is very ego-based, that has nothing to do, that brings temporary release, but never a satisfaction. They don't understand this difference, and they need to learn it through experiences. Okay, we have in separation and we have divine masculine. We have Taurus, so maybe that's a detail. I took forever. Hold on, I wanted to read the shadows. Prejudice, lazy, self-indulgent, slow-moving, stubborn, materialistic. Maybe it's a detail that one of you is Taurus. I took forever in making up my mind about our connection. Instead of speaking out to you, I would run away and indulge in unnecessary pleasures. Confirmation. To ignore my feelings. Confirmation, but this is it links to that passion and lust that I was talking about. It has to happen. He has to fall into all the possible temptations of the matrix. Why? Because one day he's going to rise to become a divine masculine who will be architect of the new earth, of the new matrix. Not just divine masculines and divine feminines. We're one of the path that will be the path of awakening towards the builders of new earth. That's been going on for quite a while now, but the 2026 will be really transformative. A big timeline split. We will start noticing how one path is falling and one path is rising. And that's on top of that soul. So there may be something within his heart that is activating. He's not going to understand it. He's not going to know it. But it may be something that is activating that blueprint. That certain things have to happen. Sometimes we take choices out of the place of our ego and we prolong certain things. And that soul has to come into, right? Take the reins, push us a little bit. Our guides, our soul, our higher self. And we have in separation. And I feel that for this collective, obviously you're not yet in separation. You had recently, you've been having conversations, you're engaging with his group of friends and you have friends in common, right? But I feel it's coming. I feel it's coming, and you may be not happy about it, but the sooner it comes, the better. The better. Again, we're not in this in and out madness. We're not achieving anything. It's sort of the wheel constantly turns. The cycles are on constant repeat, but we're not achieving anything. I'm taking a pause. See? Powerless. I'm taking a pause. I need to separate myself from you in order to work on my mind and soul. This is only temporary. I will eventually find my way back to you. I think he really believes that right now he's powerless, and it's because they don't know how to take accountability just yet. I have to separate because I'm powerless, but I trust that if it's really meant to be, it will be. Dark night of the soul, that's on that fulfillment. I don't think he's going from dark night of the soul just yet. Obviously, that's sorry for the masculines. Oof. Itchiness. Sorry. Maybe you're it's like it's this feeling when you're about to snooze. Maybe you just snoozed. Number 3, send help, dark night of the soul. I don't think he's actually going through this because given where you are on your connection, it's not yet time. But he may be going through some darkness, experiencing some, it's difficult as well for them because they see something that, again, to them, it's like the most precious diamond and they want it, but they don't feel good enough and they don't even understand it, right? So looking at something that you think that you cannot have and you will never deserve, in the beginning the longing is so strong that you sort of push towards it, but then it's becoming harder and harder and harder. Denial of the connection. Denial of the connection. And again, that's clarifying that passion. So he is denying. He is denying. He thinks that there is some sort of an